In today's class, we are going to learn about AC fundamentals. In Model 1, you have DC circuits and AC fundamentals. In the previous lectures, you have seen or learnt about the DC circuits. Now, you are going to learn about AC fundamentals. By nature, when the power is getting generated, by nature it is AC. It is alternating in the nature. Then by using some specific device called commutator only, it is converted into DC. So by the word AC means alternating current, alternating, varying. So alternatively positive and negative half cycles will be there, or the better representation for AC is nothing but a sinusoidal wave that you can see here in this graph given. So in this model you are going to learn about how a sinusoidal voltage is, that is a voltage represented graphically, it is in the form of sine wave, sinusoidal. So that is why it is called a sinusoidal voltage. How it is getting generated, what is the frequency of that generated voltage, then what are the different terminologies, that is average value, root mean square value, form factor and peak factor, phase representation of alternating quantities. All these you are going to learn in this topic. Generation of AC voltage. The voltage which changes polarity at regular interval of time is known as alternating voltage. Which changes polarity, positive to negative, negative to positive, alternatively it changes the polarity at regular interval of time, is called as alternating voltage. The one complete cycle of an alternating quantity consists of two half cycles, and the direction of a half cycle changes after every particular interval of time. The machine which generates the alternating voltage is also known as alternator. It can be called as a AC generator or can be called as a alternator. How the AC voltage is getting generated, that is how the sinusoidal voltage is getting generated. Take a simple mechanism having a north pole and south pole and one coil in between the north and south pole. Okay, with this we are going to demonstrate how the AC voltage is generated. The alternating voltage is generated in two ways, that is by rotating the coil inside the uniform magnetic field. Here you can see magnetic field is created by the north and south pole. Here it is a uniform magnetic field. In between, having a coil inside, by rotating it at a constant speed, the voltage can be generated. Or the coil can be kept stationary, the magnetic field can be rotated. So by rotating the magnetic field around the stationary coil at the constant speed, also the AC voltage is generated. Usually for the DC generator, people will go for having the magnetic field stationary and the armature as the rotating one. See, around the in the rotor, the armature conductors or the armature winding will be there. The rotating part is the armature and the stationary one is the magnetic field. But generally for the AC generator, that is an alternator, will go for having the rotating magnetic field as the rotor and the armature as the stator. Consider here the stationary coil places inside the uniform magnetic field. The load is connected across the coil with the help of brushes and slip rings. When the coil rotates in the anticlockwise direction at constant regular velocity omega, the electromotive force induced in the coil. The same is explained here. When with the coil in the different position, the cross-sectional view of the coil at the different position is here. The magnitude of the EMF induced in the coil depends on the rate of change of flux cut by the conductor. The basic law is nothing but behind generating AC voltage is nothing but the Faraday's law of induction. See here the coil AB is kept vertical. You can see on the left and right hand side it is not, though it is not shown, the horizontal lines running from left to right, that is nothing but the magnetic field. The coil AB placed there across that. When the coil is rotated, that arrow mark, it shows there like it is the movement of the coil, or the velocity component of the coil is horizontal to the magnetic field, so there will not be any cut of the magnetic field. When the velocity component is perpendicular or with some angle, there will be a interruption in the magnetic field, or you can say there will be a change in the magnetic field, or you can say there will be a flux cut. But here having the in the position 1, when the position 1, when side A is up and B is down, the velocity component is horizontal to the magnetic field, as there is a no change in the flux, as there is a no magnetic cut or flux cut, the EMF induced will be 0 here. So like when you look at the position 2, that is at 90 degree, the velocity component is perpendicular to the magnetic field. So as the coil moves from the position 1 to 2, in the position 1 there is no cutting of the flux, so EMF induced is 0. As it moves, as it rotated, it cuts the flux, and the cutting of the flux or the change in the flux will be maximum at the position shown there. The coil kept shown as horizontal. There the velocity component is perpendicular to the magnetic field, so the EMF will be induced, so that at position 2 the E is shown as maximum EMF. At position 3 again, when it is continuously rotated in the same direction, again similar to the position 1, the velocity component is parallel to the magnetic field, and also there is a no flux cutting here, so there is a no EMF induced. So again EMF induced is 0 here. That is same is shown in the diagram also. And the coil is rotated further. When it moves from the position 3 to position 4, you can see again the velocity component with respect to the magnetic field with some angle, as it is rotated further, as the coil is rotated further. At position 4, it is vertical to the magnetic field, so again you can see the EMF induced is maximum in the opposite direction. Again, from when it changes from position 4 and 5, when the coil is continuously rotated, so again the position 5 is similar to the position 1. Again here the velocity component is parallel to the magnetic field, as there is a no flux change here, so the EMF induced will be 0 here. So you can see alternatively from 0 to 360 degree. At 0 degree the EMF induced is 0. At 90 degree it is the maximum, positive maximum. And again in 180 degree it is 0. Again in 270 degree on the negative side, on the other side it is maximum. And at 360 degree it is 0. So you can see a complete sine wave here. This is how sinusoidal AC voltage is getting generated. The same is explained here. The magnitude of induced EMF becomes maximum when the conductor becomes perpendicular to the magnetic line of force. Instead of saying conductor becomes magnetic, or I can say the velocity component becomes perpendicular to the magnetic line of force. The conductor cuts the maximum flux at this position. So when there is a maximum flux cut, there will be a maximum rate of change of flux, so the induced EMF is maximum at position 2, which is determined by the Fleming's right hand rule. When the coil is at position 2, the EMF induces in the outward direction of the conductor, whereas at position 4 the direction of the inducing EMF becomes inward. In other words, the direction of the EMF induces in the conductor at position 2 and 4 becomes opposite to each other. That is, at position 2 positive EM, at position 2 it is minus EM. So you can say it is just equal and opposite.